back to Sunday, what just thoughts on the game and how you guys played?
Sunday was a really good test for us, honestly. And I think I left the gym there pretty proud of our team. We knew we were going to get tested, and with a team that presses for 40 minutes the way they do and rev up intensity and put a lot of pressure even on the half court. We knew they were going to have some stretches where they're going to make some runs. But our team showed a lot of that, mental toughness, resiliency, and even getting down 13 early, found our way back. I think a lot of that is, trusting our game plan and, knowing that that's kind of what's going to happen, the ebbs and flows of a game like that. But really proud to see, our team go down like that, fight our way back, go into half with a lead, and again, give ourselves an opportunity to win a game. Of course, we want to get a little bit better, in those little bits and pieces throughout the course of a game so that we can change the result. But overall, more positive than anything.
What do you think is the catalyst to that mentality this year of being able to fight back? Maybe you're not winning yet, but just to have that kind of mindset on the team.
I think a lot of it stems from just the chemistry that our team has built. I think that we have a bunch of players that want to fight for each other, play with each other, and there's a standard that they want to uphold for each other, and so I think that it's something obviously we're continuing to work on, but I think that the chemistry that they've built, and you can see it when you're around our team, has a lot to do with it.
What do you want to see this weekend out of your team?
Yeah, this weekend's going to be a unique challenge where we've probably been asking our team to mentally, work on the mental toughness side of things and, fight through some of those things. I think this weekend might be a little bit more of the physical toughness. It's our first back-to-back games, and that definitely provides a different challenge for us. Good things to get to. If you're doing it right in March, that's what you end up with sometimes. But, yeah, I think it's going to be, playing together, playing to our standard. Let's see if, we can maybe get a couple more people to step up and get into that rotation so that when you're handling a back-to-back, you can, prepare for it physically appropriately. There was, of course, the mental test of going from one game to the next without really much prep. But I think that part they've been really good at working on, so I feel confident they'll handle that part.
Coach, you guys are getting ready for, the Christmas City Classic. What are you wanting to see, from this team in terms of not only the back-to-back, but then also having another, event happening shortly after that?
Yeah, well, right after we get back is the Big Sky Summit Challenge. And so we're going to have a stretch here of quite a few games with not a lot of prep, not a lot of rest. And so, yeah, it's one of those where we know we've probably played Jossie far too many minutes. She's not going to probably be able to handle 40 minutes for 4 games in the next 8 days. And so I think we're looking for some players to step up so that they can maybe handle some of that, primary guard role a little bit for us. But I do think it comes down to just maybe a little bit of that approach to how we handle these situations. Can we do the extra things? Can you get the extra recovery? Can you make sure you're nutritionally taking care of the things you need to take care of? All those little bits and pieces probably become way more important in a week like this. Of course, I'm looking for us to take a step forward on the floor as well, but I trust our team's going to step between the lines and play as hard as they possibly can. So we'll let that play out.
In training camp, you talked about, really liking the versatility that you have on your team. What have you seen in terms of that growth from the versatility in your roster?
Yeah, I think you're seeing quite a bit of, the style change from last year and just the way that we're playing. And so I do believe that we have, a team that's getting downhill really hard. We're doing really well getting to the free throw line, and that obviously has a lot to do with how much pressure we're putting on the rim. I think you've seen some players maybe step up and do some things that you hadn't in the past. You look at a Fatima, someone who's really had some great games here as of late, and she stretches the floor a little bit because she's been shooting it real well when she faces up, but she also has a pretty quick first step. And so just that ability to play a little bit more inside out makes us a little bit more difficult to guard, and I think our shooting's coming around. It's getting there.
And then my final question is for the younger players that you have, how are they been responding to, maybe different roles or increased minutes and being able to hit the court for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're seeing a little bit of mix of all sorts of different things with them. Of course, there's Jossie, who's literally playing 40 minutes a game, and others that are kind of finding where their role is and maybe hoping to step into a little bit bigger one. I think they're doing a great job. Obviously, Jossie's navigated what we've asked her to do at an incredibly high level, and we've put a lot of pressure on her. Maybe not a lot of pressure. We've put a lot of responsibility is the word I'm going to use. A lot of responsibility on her early, and she's handled it incredibly well. But yeah, I definitely see some of those others able to continue to maybe expand what their role is, and just that's part of your acclimation to Division I basketball is just learning what it's about. But I'm confident they'll get there, and we definitely need to get a little bit more minutes out of our bench, and so that's something that hopefully some of those young ones can help us with.